never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
All right, y'all, we're here, we're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked, and you know exactly what you got to do right now before anything else happens. You got to like this video, you got to share this video, and you got to go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Go do that right now. Hit that little red bell, that way you know when content's coming out, and you don't have to worry about it. It'll be there when it's out. Look, guys, got an awesome show today. One of my most favorite guests ever, one of my best friends ever in the wrestling business. We're going to get him on here in a little bit. This man has done a lot for the pro wrestling business around our area. Changed it for the better back in 1998. But before we get him out there, you know what I got to do. I've got to promote these upcoming podcasts. And once we get this done, we're not going to waste no time. We're going to get right to the action.
Which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear. I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The sound of deafening fear.
You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E right in your side. You will never see me coming. You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E right in your side. You will never see me.
My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he stabs me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel, I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks, I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere or any place.
You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E right in your side. You will never see me coming.
All right, y'all, you seen it right there. Got a bunch of cool podcasts coming up. I'm going to be adding more for June and July here over the next week or two. Got a lot of shows booked, a lot of great ones. Go check them all out. You don't want to miss none of them. They all bring something different to the table. Tomorrow night, I'm back. I got the Bluff City heavyweight champion, the guy who brings all the smoke, MJ Davis. That's one I've been looking forward to. But tonight, it's all about my guest, and I don't even know where to start. Let me just start by saying this. He's hired me. He's fired me. This guy changed the wrestling business for the better in 1998 when he founded Kick Ass Wrestling, KAW. And in 2 years, he parlayed that into a WWE developmental deal where KAW transferred and became Memphis Championship Wrestling, worked with all the up-and-coming stars at the time, run some very big shows around this area, some of the biggest shows that's ever been run around this area. Look, this guy is an entrepreneur. He's one of the most successful businessmen I know in and out of the wrestling business. Did I mention he's a Hall of Famer, a Memphis Wrestling Hall of Famer? And it seems like every single thing he touches turns to gold. I give you none other than Terry Golden. Terry.
What's going on, Buster? Thank you for having me, buddy.
What's up, dude?
Man, not a lot. Doing good. How are you, sir?
Oh, man, you know me. I'm doing what I always do, man, doing these podcasts. I ain't busy like you, though, man.
Thank God for that.
Man, dude, you just got, like you said a little earlier, you should be slowing down, but I think you're speeding up, man.
I think so, man. It's been busy here lately. I got a lot of things on the table. And it's fun, though. It's better to be busy than not doing anything, I guess.
There you go, man. We got Jeffrey Graves with us. He was actually at the Hall of Fame show in Jackson back on September 21st. He actually sat at the table with me and Motley and everybody. Best damn wrestling podcast. Keep up the good work, bro. I appreciate it, Jeff. I appreciate it more than you know. We got Mike Darby, our boy, right there, man. He's the guy who kind of kept everything in line on September 21st. He says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, guys? What's up, Mike?" Terry, it's Aftermath now. Hall of Fame back on September, a night to remember. KAW reunion, a big night. But what I really want to talk about is you being inducted in the Hall of Fame, because here's something really cool about that. Your boys were there. Your boys got to sit there and see you be inducted into the Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame and realize the impact you've had on this industry around our area, man. Talk to me about what it was like up there on that stage knowing your boys was sitting there watching you, dude.
Man, that was tough. I'll be honest with you. My kids never, my oldest son was 1 when I left. I hadn't really told this story a whole lot, but, when the developmental deal in Memphis kind of went away, things were changing. I mean, I had a few opportunities to go do more stuff in the wrestling business, but I was at a point. I was going through a divorce. My son was 1.5 in that area there. And I had to make a choice, man. I mean, my choice was like continue to do this and run up and down the roads and do what I love to do, or be a dad. And a lot of people probably would have made the different choice, but at the end of the day, my decision was to walk away and be a dad. And I love the guys, and I love the sport, and I love the camaraderie with all my friends, and I missed them, man. But it's probably the best decision I ever made. Probably saved my life, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't change it for one thing. I don't. I had a lot of gas left in the tank. I could have done quite a few more things. I had offers for up to a year, 2 years out to go other places and do other things and work for other companies and whatnot. But, once I made that decision and walked away, it was hard for a long time. But I mean, that was my decision. And to be there that night, it just kind of all come around. It was tough to look over and see my 2 young men that are 20 and 24 now. And it's just, very humbling. I'm very proud, though. I got 2 great young men that I get to call my sons, and I wouldn't change that for anything in the world.
Well, like you said, it's one thing for them to go back and watch OKAW. To go back and watch Memphis Championship Wrestling, knowing that, hey, I mean, big deal, man. You parlay KAW in 2 years into a developmental deal with the WWF. I mean, that's really a big deal, but it's a different thing for them to sit there right in the front row and get to see you get inducted in the Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame. What was their take on it? What did they say to you, man, once it was over?
I mean, they're very proud. Obviously, fortunately for me, they haven't really followed up that much on wrestling. And with me, when they were younger, we went to a few shows like WWE shows and met some of the guys and whatnot that I'm friends with. But, you know, it's never just like been a topic. They've always been so athletic and into everything. They never really took the opportunity to go back and, you know, that's not like, it's almost like that's another time in my life that I don't even really live anymore. So it's never really been a big topic. I mean, yeah, here and there it comes up occasionally, but I stayed so invested into their lives that, you know, my past was irrelevant. So, I mean, I think it, you know, it meant a lot to them. It gave them a chance to see the opportunity with the work that I put in. And hopefully they realize, you know, I walked away from all that for them because that's the truth of the matter.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. I mean, here's the thing. There was a rumor back in 2000 when Vince bought WCW. Now, I heard that you were pinned as the guy. If they were going to keep it running, you might have been the guy to actually be running that. Is there any truth to that?
I mean, there was some discussions and there was some, you know, but you know how those are, man. I mean, so many things come up, and that same discussion probably happened with 40 other guys. So, I mean, I don't want to sit and say, yeah, that was going to be the deal, but I mean, you never know. So, you know, there's always, you know, one thing for me that I can say that about the wrestling business is I got to be involved in every aspect of it. Some guys don't get that some people may call it a luxury, and it's really not. But I got to be talent. I got to be office, and then I got to be the office, for lack of a better word. So, you know, and on a very high level, you know, it's not all that fun when you get to that point, you know, I'd much rather just ride in the car and go to the town. Maybe you get paid, maybe you don't, you know, I mean, and have a good time. Those are the memories that matter. Hanging out with the guys, that's what you really miss. The arguments and the heartbreak and the amount of heartbreak that I got to see at the end of the career was probably the deciding factor for me to say, man, this is just not something that I enjoy anymore. So that's really kind of the ending for me.
Right. Look, we got Izzy with us. He says, so great to see you guys. Such an awesome night. And I'm with you, man. It was an honor for me to be there and be involved, man. It was something that, honestly, if it wasn't for KAW and you, most of us wouldn't even have been at that event, more than likely. I mean, that's just the honest facts of it. But, you know, here's something you said, your life is kind of, that part of it's kind of like completely separate. And I feel the same way through life, Terry. Through my life, I've had stages and plateaus and then stages and plateaus where, I mean, I'm 51 right now, and I feel like I probably lived 3 different lives at least, you know, 3 completely different lives. I was one thing at one point, evolved into something different, and then I keep evolving as time goes on. And it's really cool to be able to look back at some of those memories, like you said, man, riding the roads, having fun. You went from being a wrestler, having fun on the roads, having heat with the office, to being the dude everybody had heat with if they had heat. So
I ran the gauntlet, I'll promise you that.
So talk to me about that for a second. Let's talk about going from the love, talent, friend, buddy, peer wrestler to then you're the boss, man. Talk to me about, did you see people's attitudes change towards you?
Oh yeah. I mean, and it's tough, especially in the end when you're at that level, like when you're reporting to JR, head of talent relations, and Bruce Pritchard's calling you on a daily basis, and you're having to deal with day-to-day talent, on that level. And then you got your guys that are your friends that you have been around for years that you want to help, like it really put a big strain on some personal relationships with guys that I've been like very close with. I'm not going to mention any names, but I mean, like I was the guy who made the final decision. Like,
Right.
that's not the case. I mean, did I have input? Absolutely. But everybody that opens their mouth has some form of input, whether it's good or bad. So, but man, there's just, it's so political and it's such red tape. And I mean, I guess the hardest part is just watching, like, all right, when like Brian Danielson and Spanky and Shooter and Lance Cade, those kids come from Texas.
From Shawn Michaels.
They were 18 years old. Think about that. They were 18 years old. We were right at our 30s. Those kids were 18. They just got out of high school. 6 months to 8 months before that, they were in high school.
Right.
Then they got sent to me like I'm a babysitter. Like I'm not the baby. At that point, you didn't want me babysitting your kids. But I mean, now you look at some of those guys and their careers, and you're a part of that. And that, and some people give you respect for that. And some people act like it never happened. And that's okay too. That doesn't bother me. I've never gotten into any business that I've been involved in for the glory or to be on the main stage. That's why I stopped working whenever I did this. But it's just, it's tough when you see kids just like literally like get in a room. One goes in after the other. Okay, you're fired. You're going here. You're fired. You're going home tomorrow. You're going home next week. It's just numbers and names. That's all it is.
Right.
And that's the unfortunate part of the business. But it's the same with every football team or every basketball team. I mean, only so many people can make the cut. So.
And I don't think people understand that because most people's never been in that situation to have to. I mean, here's the thing: if I don't know how it actually worked, but if you got a developmental guy from the WWE down here and they're fixing to let him go, do they let him go, or do they put that on you to say, "Hey, you're done. You're finishing up so and so, and you're done"?
I mean. Usually it's worse than that, to be honest with you. Usually it's worse. Usually they'll call them, not let me know, and put the heat on me for them getting fired.
That's crazy.
So, for example, we got randomly drug tested one time. X, Y, and Z failed their drug test. Now, I don't know how that became my fault, but it was my fault.
You're the babysitter, man.
Like, I mean, I didn't snort it. So I didn't, I passed mine. So, but that's just part of it, I never got heads up on when there was going to be a drug test. I got a call, just like everyone else got a random message at the same time, be at this place for your drug test in 30 minutes or you're terminated. You were either there or you weren't. So what do you do? So.
Well, let me ask you this. What was that like for you? Because even though you're the boss, now that you're a developmental company, you actually have a boss that you have to answer to. So here's the thing. We did drug testing KAW, but they were all kayfabe drug tests for the TV. Talk to me about that part of it, man, going from, you're the top of the heap. You have the last call about whatever we're all doing. To then now, once you sign that deal, you've kind of got a boss you got to answer to too. How was that aspect of it? How difficult was that?
Overall, the dealings with Bruce, JR, Kevin Kelly were all pretty good. There was never really any blindsiding or whatever. But, the boys are the boys. They're going to do stuff. They're going to act certain ways. They're going to do what they do. Sometimes they get caught, most times they don't. So when you do something like that, it's like any other business. You can't take a multi-billion-dollar company and jeopardize it because one DA wants to go do something stupid. So it is what you just got to deal with it and keep going. One person don't stop the game, it's just you got to roll on, and that's kind of what we did. So
Well, let me ask you this: what was the most difficult situation you had to deal with as being a developmental company? What was the one situation that you thought, man, I'm about ready to cut ties right now? Was there a situation that made you think that? I'm thinking there's probably more than one, maybe.
there's a bunch of them, yeah. But I mean, I guess probably, there was quite a few, but I guess the one that was the most stressful, that I got all the blame for, but had nothing to do with. And I appreciate him blaming me because he just gave me more credibility. God bless him. But when Jerry Lawler, or when the Cat got fired from WWE at Monday Night Raw, and Jerry threatened to quit, and they told Jerry to, whatever happened, and he was gone also, he blamed me. In his book, he blames me. On podcasts or in the sheets back then, he blamed me. And I don't really know what I could have done to get her terminated. I think she knows probably, and they know more so what happened than I do. I'm not even going to speculate it. And, I've had my times in the past where, I just kind of speak my rough side opinion, and maybe that's good and maybe that's not. But I mean, I'm going to try to go down the middle on it. And, it's just, but, and here was the problem for me. So obviously you're in Memphis, Tennessee, and Jerry Lawler is a huge part of Memphis wrestling. He's always been a big part of it. And I got the call, says, all right, here's the deal. Stacy and Jerry are gone, and neither one of them can be on your television show.
Man.
And it's like, what does this have to do with? I mean, it had nothing to do with me or our show or anything. So then you're in a position of, and I don't know, maybe that had something to do with him being upset with me or whatever. But I mean, at that point, I had to call Jerry and say, he was planning on coming back and he was going to vent on the air, which probably would have been worse. But I mean, when you got to tell Jerry that Jerry can't be on television in Memphis, and Jerry is Memphis wrestling, so it just put a bad situation for everybody. It made it bad for not just me, everybody included. Everybody on the shows, all the talent was getting pulled, and it was just a mess. So that was probably the overall the most stressful instigation that happened, I guess.
That's kind of like pulling the hood ornament right off of your brand new Benz, man.
Yeah.
Them jerking Lawler like that, or however it played out. And I don't see how would you even have anything to do with Stacy getting fired from the WWF?
No comment, but I mean, they know what happened, and they know what she was doing, and they know what they were doing. I mean, it's just, and what they were doing. So don't ask me that dumb question.
Hey, hold on. You said nothing was off limits, man.
It's not off limits. But don't ask me like you don't know.
Hey, we fixing to go KAW style here, man. I'm going to put the big logo in the back. And Lawler Vinton, man, you saying that, man, that would have been perfect for KAW.
Yeah, I've said this before. If I could go all the way back and do something different, shut up, Darby. If I could go all the way back and do something different, I would have never left the KAW brand and done MCW. I'd have just said, I'll pass, and kept rolling.
Let's talk about that for a second, because all of us have opinions. If you had stayed with KAW, what do you feel like the future of the wrestling industry around our area would have been over the next 5, 10, 15 years? Do you think KAW would still be a thing right now if we would have stayed KAW?
No, I'm going to say no. Just for the sake of, not because, that's just the truth. I don't think so. I don't think that, things have changed so much, man. You can't even say hello to someone without offending somebody anymore. So the things that we did in those days, man, are just, I don't know.
I miss them, Terry. I miss them, Terry.
Yeah,
look, I'm too old to be involved in them, but I just miss society being more free like it was, man. kind of an open canvas. You could do a lot of stuff that you couldn't. I mean, we lived in the Jerry Springer era pretty much.
Yeah, true. I mean, we helped create some of it. But you could have an opinion. It didn't even have to be the right opinion, but it was your opinion. It was okay to express it. And Jim next door was okay with you expressing your opinion, even if it's wrong, because it's just your opinion. It didn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? It just nowadays, I mean, it's hard now to do anything without, being canceled or attempted to be canceled or whatnot. So, in that respect, there's no way that it would have still been going because the lawsuits would have killed us eventually.
Do you think it would have lasted longer than the development deal?
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think it would have lasted longer. It would have been bigger because if you remember correctly, WCW would have went away either way.
Right.
So the talent pool would have gotten much larger. So we would have had more talent pool regardless, and could have done more with them and expanded even further with those. But I mean, when the WCW deal went belly up, a lot of those guys just went out of the business because there was nowhere for them to go. So, and
the ones who had good contracts, a lot of them sat home and
You're right.
drew that money. Right. I can't blame some of them on that. I like Booker T. I fully understand. Booker T's a guy who wanted to be a star. He wanted to be a big star, so I understand him deciding, look, I'll take a payout and go on to the WWE and take my chances. But even Goldberg, Kevin Nash, guys like that, these guys had multi-million-dollar contracts, and you'd be stupid not to sit home and draw that money. I mean, you're just sitting at home doing whatever you want to do, and that check keeps coming in.
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure, I sat home and drawed money for quite a few months after my deal too. So it is what it is.
Well, I want to talk about the end of the developmental deal because I remember y'all doing vignettes with like Joey Abs and a few different guys about where do we go from here. So here's my question. I mean, how quick a notice did you have that it was over, that they were pulling the deal?
Man, I think I don't know. It all happened within 1 week.
Fast.
Yeah, so I want to say that the office came into town on Wednesday and we were done on Saturday.
So I'm assuming most of the boys didn't know nothing about that either until more than likely you told them.
No. What actually happened was, I believe the good guy's name was Dennis Brent. He was in the office, and I can't remember who else, but two office guys came down. We met downtown at the Radisson that morning by the airport, I think it is. And then we had a normal training class that afternoon, like at 11 or so. So I met with them, went over what we were doing, what was happening. We left from there straight to the training center. We didn't have training. And like I said, the guys waited outside in the facility, and one at a time went into the office and got told what was happening. And those results were, you're fired. We're letting you go. I mean, or you're going to get, some of them went to another place. Very few went to another place, but the majority of the guys just got let go right there on the spot. And speaking for the boys, I mean, the relationship that will tell you how strong a bond we had, they could go home that day. Like, that's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. They said, but all the guys said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to stay and work the week out. So they stayed and worked the Friday, Saturday shows for me, and weren't even under contract. So
yeah, that's really
meant
cool,
a lot to
man.
me for that.
Right, that's really cool,
and
man.
In saying that, I don't know if you were there or not. I think you were, but I don't know if you were for the last show or not. Were you there?
No, I wasn't there. You'd fired me long before that.
Whatever. We were in, I think it was Manila, Arkansas for a show. And I don't think anybody's ever, I know I haven't, but when the show was over, have you seen, I'm sure you've seen the infamous picture of us in the ring, all the guys in the ring at somewhere. But they had that framed and plaqued and signed with one of our old T-shirts and gave that to me after the show. And we sat in the locker room for probably 2 hours and just went around chair to chair talking, and everybody just kind of pouring their hearts out. And every bit of that's on film. And I've got the film somewhere here, and I've never looked at it.
Man, that's some prize footage right there.
You know, there's a lot of guys there that aren't with us anymore.
Right.
So,
and a lot of guys there who became huge superstars in the wrestling business also.
So, yeah, I've got that. I need to get that to you, let you use that. That'd be something that'd be a flashback. Pretty strong.
Oh, yeah. That's what do they call it? A premiere event right there.
Yeah, and it's probably at least 30, 40 minutes long. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, both Russ and Charlie Haas were there. I mean, Russ is no longer with us. Lance was there. He's no longer with us. I want to say Bradley was there. It'd be something to see. I mean, I haven't looked at it in 20-something years, so I've never watched it. So,
well, look, let me ask you this, Terry. When you got the notice and you knew it was over, how much thought was there any thought about continuing this thing, or did you know right then that you were kind of done, at least for now? Maybe you were burnt out, because I'm sure you were burnt out dealing with everything you got to deal with at that level, man.
Yeah, I mean, there was a high level of burnout, and there was a high level of stress and everything else. But, you know, I took a little bit of time to try to figure out what I was going to do. I mean, I had an option to go somewhere immediately also. But again, that meant I had to leave town.
Right.
And I wouldn't, you know, so it didn't take me a long time to figure out what I was going to do. But as far as the company and all that stuff, I took a couple of weeks. Me and Jet talked, and, you know, we just decided in order for me to move forward, I was going to have to move regardless, because I already knew that with the situation with Jerry and the heat that we had with each other, it was going to be hard to get back to where I was at. Right. So starting somewhere different, and it just, you know, it wasn't that appealing to me at the time. So we just decided to wrap it.
So look, let's rewind a little bit now, and let's go back to September 21st of last year. A night to remember, the big KAW reunion, Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame ceremony. Let me ask you this. Now, I'm pretty sure I know on a personal level it was a success for you. Because, you know, there was conversations before any of that even come about, just about the KAW reunion, and you kind of let your feelings be known that more than anything else, you just wanted to get all the guys together, so all of us get together, have fun, spend a night or two together, and just kind of relive what was KAW. Fuck, Terry, I forgot what I was going to say. Shit, man. See, that's what happens when you smoke too much. Let me rewind. Okay, I know where I'm going. All right. I'm pretty sure it was a success personally for you, because at the end of the day, it was a awesome ceremony. All the guys, I say all, there was a lot of KAW people there, or not there, that I wish had been there.
Right.
I would have liked to have seen Bull there. I would have liked to have seen Biddy there. I'd have liked to have seen Hollywood there, Vixen there. And I'm sure I'm missing a few people here and there. But financially, was a night to remember a success for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, financially, absolutely it was. I mean, you know, anytime you do anything in the wrestling world and you don't lose money, it's a success. But I mean, it was a good success. So, you know, but that's, you know, the still was supposed to happen in Memphis. So, right. You know, it kind of got changed. I mean, it wasn't really supposed to be in Jackson. I really didn't have anything to do with that part of it. The venue in Memphis ended up falling through and it really just started out as a KAW reunion.
Right.
You know, and then when I reached out to Randy, I said, man, we're going to do this KAW thing. And, you know, I know your guys, like all your Power Pro guys and all, are still around, and they're local. And we were all friends. A lot of those guys, we worked together on other independent shows before, after, for years, whatever. And, you know, it's if I was going to do anything else in the wrestling business, I didn't want it to be anything that's like politically or BS or, this is better than that. That's part of the work to what we do. But,
Right.
Man, I mean, guys like Alan Steele, Derek King, all those guys, they beat their bodies and been up and down the roads and paid all the sacrifices. Johnny, all those guys. I mean, they deserve to have a night and hang out and do whatever also. So I called Randy and just said, look, Randy and I, like, we hadn't talked in 20-something years. We were never great friends. I mean, but we were never enemies either. So
Right.
It was just business back then. I mean, from what little I've been involved now, it just seems like everything's so personal with everybody that is involved in the business that it really wasn't like that for us. We did our show, they did their show, and we just, it was what it was. So
there was a boundary line there.
Yeah, and a respect line. There was a respect.
I mean, obviously, we wanted to be better than them. They wanted to be better than us. So that creates a good competition. But at the end of the day, like, there really wasn't a lot of heat nowhere between none of the boys. Like you said, you and Randy had no heat.
Yeah, I mean, but there was no reason to have any heat. I mean, we put out the best product we could. They put out the best product they could. We aren't the judges. Unfortunately, sometimes all the boys think that they are the judges of the product. They're not. The judge of the product is when you get in the ring and you look around and see if everybody's there.
Right.
Look, let's be honest. There was nights where KAW went, there was nobody there.
Dude.
We lost. We failed. So, but there was other nights that we did shows and there was 15, 16,000 there.
I feel like KAW was super hot at first when y'all first started, because I wasn't there at the very first. I came in right after y'all got UPN 30. Mm-hmm. So, and KAW was hot as could be before that, but by the time I came there, it seemed like it had cooled off a lot, and it actually took probably 5 or 6 or 7 months for that to really start picking back up. Yeah. By the time the end of the KAW happened, we were selling out buildings everywhere we went. Hell, we went to Jonesboro and drew over 1,000 people at $10 a ticket. And back then, at that time, that was a hell of a gate that nobody had done in a long time.
Right. I mean, they can't sell tickets for that now.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's not a diss on anybody who runs shows or anything. It's just, it's hard. It's a different world. I mean, I don't know that we could have done it now because there's so many different, being on UPN 30 then mattered. Like, now there's so many different platforms and avenues to get product. I mean, it's hard to find product unless you just stone cold, just hard mark, and where, there's a wrestling show on every channel, on every station, on every stream. I mean, everything, they're everywhere. So what do you watch?
And it's hard to be different now because of society itself. Like you said, we couldn't get away with half the stuff we done then.
Right. Yeah. There's no doubt.
I mean, we'd be kicked right off. They turn the lights off on the show while it was airing on UPN 30 right now, man. So let me ask you this. This all started as a germ of an idea for a KAW reunion, and when it first started, there were talks about having matches. Obviously, we would have loved to had a lot of the KAW guys be able to wrestle, but in truth be told, I mean, most of us hadn't been in the ring in years. Some of us can't get in the ring or even shouldn't be in the ring.
But the problem wasn't that. The problem was this. You all would have. You would have got in the ring. You would have done it. You all would have worked. And then it wasn't worth it. I said, man, I'm not subjecting these guys to go out there because they're going to go out there and kill each other and somebody's going to get hurt.
Right.
Well, that's when I'm like that at the point, like, man, I don't even want to do this. That's not what it's about. I get it. I understand that. Because guys were calling me, I'm going to work. I'm going to work. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I'm like, man, I don't know if this is a good idea. Because what you think you can do is not necessarily what you can do.
That's a hell of a hospital bill, Golden. A hell of a hospital bill at the end of that show.
I mean, let's don't get it twisted. I could still go, but y'all probably couldn't.
I see where we're headed, man. I see where we're headed, man.
I mean, I don't have to sell.
or if you do, you just ball up under the rope and let everybody stomp you for 5 minutes till everybody else is blowed up, and then all of a sudden, here's Golden shining like fucking Superman, man.
But anyway, I mean, I just, I didn't want it, man. I got too much respect for all the guys to do that, man. I just want to see everybody have dinner together, talk. Kids get to see what just some of those guys, and I don't mean this in any bad way at all, okay? But that was the pinnacle of their careers.
Right. And
some that are still doing it was still the pinnacle of their careers, and they never got any respect for it. A lot of them. Some did, but a lot of guys, still to the day, a lot of guys don't get respect for what they do, what they contribute. That was just my way of trying to put something together to try to give a big, hey, man, I really appreciate what everybody did X amount of years ago. As a group collectively, we did this together, and that's really what it was. I mean, it wasn't about me or anything like that. I had no idea Randy was going to ask me to be in the Hall of Fame, dude. I mean, nobody was more shocked at that than me. I promise you. So
right, we could tell.
I'm very grateful.
Dude, we could tell, man, in your speech, man. I could tell in the speech. I've watched it several times. As a matter of fact, once Randy put it out and it got out on YouTube, man. You could see your emotion. You could feel your emotion when you was giving your speech. Matter of fact, there was a couple times you kind of got choked up a little bit.
Yeah,
I oh shit, here he goes. He fixing to bust out crying. So let me ask you this, man. Tommy Jacks is with us. He's the 901 promoter for 901 Wrestling. These guys are at Minglewood Hall now, drawing good crowds. This is a guy who I had him on several months ago. Man, highly impressed with this dude. He's got a vision, he's got a plan, and he's got a roster full of some of the best young talent around here. And what I'm getting at is, when this whole thing first started, your idea was you wanted everybody involved. Everybody around the Memphis Mid-South area, every wrestling company involved. Didn't work out that way. Who did y'all reach out to that decided, nah, I don't think so?
So, I mean,
I'm gonna get my spotlight out right now, man.
So, I mean, I reached out to quite a few guys, younger guys that are working now. So, like, I thought it would be cool to do one group. Give me your best tag team or give me your best match, whichever you're comfortable with, because I get where X doesn't want to go work against Z and put their two champions and have a match and somebody have to lose, whatever. So I'm like, well, just give me your best match and we'll put your best match on. We'll promote, hey, these guys are from here. But I mean, I just couldn't get enough people to agree. Like, some people didn't even want to agree to be on the same card together. Like, I can't come if so-and-so's there. And like, it just became such a hassle. It was like, man, I mean, I've never, like, when back in our day, or especially in my day, if somebody called me and wanted to book me and we worked out an agreement for me to go, I wasn't asking Jim if I could go.
Right.
My decision. It's my life, my career, my future. I'm going to do what's best for me. And I don't think that I ever dealt with anybody that would say, hey, you're not allowed, or you're not, don't do this, or you'll never be on my show again. I mean, but you didn't have to. And I'll tell you why. Because I mean, when I worked independent stuff, I would work at one town Friday, another promoter Saturday, another promoter Thursday, Wednesday. I mean, I used to work 5-6 nights a week for 2 or 3 different promoters. One was a dominant, but there was fill-in nights for other guys.
Right.
They never had to tell me that I couldn't go disrespect their product because I would never, that was not part of the game. That wasn't part of the culture at that time. I mean, it's just known that you didn't do that. Like if I was holding a belt for X, I wouldn't go drop it at Z's show.
Right.
Or get beat even. Wouldn't let that happen. Now we could do some kind of smudge or whatever, or DQ or whatever, but it made more sense. And I don't know what's changed. Look, I haven't been involved in a long time. Things have changed, things evolve. I'm a dinosaur at this point. I remember back when I used to bust Bill's chops, Dundee, and call him old when he was my age, and he was
right.
Old. So now I know that I'm old.
Right.
So, but I mean, it's just some things you don't. If you have to tell those guys, or if you have to tell someone that you can't go and do something at another show, then the person probably doesn't even deserve to be in the business. That's just that's an unwritten rule. You know that.
Man, it hampers the business around our area right now every single day. Every single day. There is benefit shows that certain people can't be on with other people, and it don't make no damn sense whatsoever. I don't understand it, and I feel like that's one of the reasons that wrestling around our area, I don't know if it'll ever be dominant again. There's a few companies out here. 901, man, I feel like they've actually got the pulse of Memphis, Tennessee. But EPW out of Boonville, man, they're really doing some big things too. Here 2 weeks ago, they ran the Crossroads Arena and actually drew over 1,000 paid customers. So and I would assume, truthfully, that's the biggest paid show that's been around here in years and years. But it's still, these guys, and one thing I see is, look, I got in the business at 17, so I was a kid. But when you walked into that dressing room was full of grown men, grizzled, hardened grown men. And I mean, the business was the business. It wasn't as personal as it seems to be now.
Well, and look, I mean, I can't speak on what it's like now because I haven't been in the locker room in 25 years. So, but if you were the young guy in the locker room, you respected everyone else. You didn't have an opinion. Right. Your opinion was given to you until you earned the respect from your peers. But I mean, again, things have changed, and I get it. I deal with young people all the time. I love young people. Okay, I say this all the time. If you want to get old, surround yourself with people your own age.
Right.
So I'd rather surround myself with young people that have got tons of ideas and are very creative, and that they see the future where we sometimes look back or we get stagnant, and that's when we plateau out. And if you plateau out, you can't go forward. So, it's tough. I hate that. Man, if you got 2 or 3 groups that's got good talent on it, man, why would you not want to work with each group and do it in a good way and make money doing both things? I mean, if you can get three groups from one group and 3 groups from another, and you've got an amazing show. I mean, the cream rises to the top. And if guys are getting bumped off the card because better talent's coming, what you got to do 1 or 2 things. You got to get better or get lost. I mean,
and that's how it should be. I always felt like if you want my spot, if I've got a spot and you want it and you can come take it, it's your spot. But you got to come take it from me. Right. You got to be better at what I do than I am at what I do.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't even, the problem is, and you said it, money. That's one of the biggest issues with the wrestling business around our area. None of these guys are making any money. None of them. I mean, it's as simple as that. You've got a few guys, and I mean, I'm sure there's a few local talents out here getting $50 a match, maybe. but there's no dominant company. You know, we had the USWA, then we had Power Pro, KAW, then Memphis Championship Wrestling, and after Memphis Championship Wrestling, there hadn't been a dominant company around this area to kind of keep that pecking order in line, who opens up the town too. EPW is one of the best at actually opening up house shows, trying to open up the territory to make guys money on the live attendance. If let me ask you this, being from a TV perspective, and here's my opinion: no TV show around here, no TV channel is ever going to pay you any rights fees like the WWE get or anything. They're not going to ever do that. I feel like the best you can hope for is the barter system. We put you on for free, we sell the advertisement. So if you know that there's no chance, that TV don't mean nothing as far as money unless you use it to sell tickets at live attendance. What do you think about companies who don't do that? What is the use of having a TV show if it don't generate money? And the way it generates money, wrestling always has been about live attendance.
I mean, yeah, it used to be. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, WWE has gone to streaming. So what does that say for live television?
I'm just saying, as a company, if I'm starting a wrestling company, my whole goal is to run 3, 4, if possible, 5, 6, 7 nights a week, opening up the territory where these wrestlers, that's one of the problems. They can be told what to, and that gets me. I don't see how you can tell somebody what to do when there's no monetary incentive or anything. It's just like, if you go do this show, you're off of my TV, which my TV really don't mean shit because there's nothing there. It's just a show on TV.
You got to understand it from those young guys' perspective also, because it means something to them.
Right.
You know, it means something to them that they can go back and watch it and their friends can see them on TV. And I mean, television matters. And I also understand the concept of protecting your brand. I get that. I mean, there's two sides to that deal. And I can see in today's world where if I'm investing a lot of time, the one thing that you have to understand is no matter if you're selling tickets from TV or not, it costs money to do TV.
Right.
Well, there's production cost, there's lighting cost, there's talent, setup cost. All those things matter. So you may not be making any money or selling any tickets to television, but it still costs to do it. So, and in order for a talent to get what they want on this scale or on a smaller scale, as you would say, that is what they want. They want to, the dream is to be on television, I guess. And, even though today's television is not the same as 25 years ago television, where if you were on UPN 30, you were all over West Tennessee. We were on 385 channels nationwide.
Right.
We were, or maybe it was more than that. I don't even remember anymore, to be honest with you. But I mean, and that wasn't streaming. That was hardcore stations. Like,
broadcast television.
Yeah, that's we were on from California to New York. And a lot of people don't realize that. So, but I mean, if you got a company now and you have a television product and you're investing all this money to have that product on the air, because nobody's doing the barter system anymore either. These guys that have television shows, they're spending money.
Right.
So I get it. I get that you got to say, hey, guys, I understand that concept of, hey, if you want me to invest in you as a product, you got to be loyal to me. I get that. What I don't get is how if you have 3 companies, for example, that have a product, why those 3 companies wouldn't come together and say, hey, if I'm running this town and you're running this town and you're running this area, why don't we collectively get together and put the best product on, and you take the gate in this town and I'll take the gate in this town, and we interchange talent and work angles together, and there's a board or whatever, however you got to do, a committee who creates the creative and does the things that they do and puts on an amazingly quality show. Is that doable? I don't know. I mean, that's just, I'm thinking off the top. So, You would think that could be done, but I mean, also the other side of that is there's still the trust thing. It's just in the wrestling business, there's always that swerve coming, and everybody knows it's coming by somebody is going to try to screw somebody over, and it's just the nature of the beast. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. I understand why you want to protect your talent from going somewhere else, but it just, in the big scheme of things, if you can't branch out enough to grow, you can't grow. And it's just so hard in today's world to grow a product when the television signals are all so minute and small to that one specific spot. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in that game. So it'd be tough to figure out.
Well,
but I wish him the best of luck.
Well, I'm glad you said it hypothetically. So suppose you were in that game, what would be something, how would you go about getting your product out there to the public? I mean, there's so much more now. We didn't have social media. The internet was in its infancy at the time. You had wrestling company chat rooms, but not really internet like it is now with Facebook and everything's instant. How would you go about trying to build a successful wrestling company in this climate?
Man, you just got to be advanced. Like, a lot of these little guys, I don't mean that like little guys. I mean, like, from what I understand from you and the little bit that I've talked to a few people about in the last year or so, it's still going off the old motto. Let's get a group, let's get a station, let's get a show on the air, and let's run towns. That's pretty much the plan. I don't know that plan works anymore. Yeah, I think that having a show is your platform. And I'll tell you, I mean, I'll make an example in my own world. Obviously, I just got into the radio business. So I've got some radio stations that are pretty dominant in the Madison County, Jackson, Tennessee, surrounding areas. And they have been for many, many, many years. But who listens to the radio anymore? Like, the radio's a dying thing. Like, anybody under the age, and I'm teaching my young guys that work with me and for me this, and it's hard for them to concept because they're, I'm a tech head. Like, I'm very knowledgeable in tech, but they are like great. So, think about this, Buster. Who do you know under 35 that has cable?
Yeah, hey, I don't even have cable no more, dude. I'm a streamer all the way. So
now you're promoted. If like my kids, if I get in their car, they don't even have the radio. They don't have the radio on their car. It's hooked up to whatever the device they had in the car. So I got to figure out how to get the radio back on just to listen to it. Right. So they don't listen to the radio and they don't watch television, cable. So I've put in the concept of like more so like we got to use every person matters. Every person in that company. If they don't, how I would hire a wrestler in today's world? There would be one rule that I would, if I was hiring talent, I would hire talent off of two things: their skill and their social media followings. And that's it.
WWE, WWE, they use all the stars. Logan Paul. I mean, and I love Logan Paul, dude. I think he's awesome in the ring. I think a lot of guys who wanted to be wrestlers from the day they was born should take a little look at him because he's really good. But he also got that golden ticket straight to the top because he's a huge social media guy with millions and millions of followers.
Right. So I mean, if they have a good social media following, if they're active, and that's the way I would promote a show, the interactive stuff through social media, which is what we're doing with my company now. Is we've grown our company 400% in 4 months off of interactive social media, streaming, and just being creative on that side of the platform. I mean, the radio stations, it's like the stump of the tree. It's the core foundation, but all the branches that we use to push our platform is what's really making it grow. So yeah, you got to have that television show that you can put on, whether it's on a channel or on a YouTube or on a website, where you can drive people to it to stay up to date. But then you have to branch out and get other avenues to bring people in order to find your product. Or if you just go the old school deal, like, hey, we got a show on 30 at 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night, tune in. There's that much of the people have that. So, I mean, There's so many different avenues to go now that it'd be tough. It'd be real tough.
So let's talk about Golden Media. What possessed you? Well, I mean, I know what possessed you. Like I said in the get-go, everything you touch seems to turn to gold. Hell of a businessman.
Thank you.
What led you? What brought you to founding Golden Media, man, and buying these radio stations and stuff?
Man, I've got a couple of buddies and I've got a good friend of mine that I've been friends with for 25 years that's been in the radio business, and I'll just make it short and sweet. Right time, right place, right circumstances. Right circumstances for me, bad circumstances for others. And just was able to pick it up at a very good spot and have turned it around in a very short amount of time to do an astronomical amount, and growing like crazy. I mean, like we've branched out into not just radio, but to our streaming, we're doing podcasts. Even, we just launched a few weeks back. We launched Doug Gilbert and Tommy Rich's podcast. That is, man, it's been killing it. It's only been like 3 or 4 weeks. We're already in talks with them now about, we're going to end up on Wednesday nights. We're going to take that show live. We're going to stream Tommy in. Doug's in town, so he'll be in the studio. Tommy will be streamed in live, and we'll be just like this on all of our platforms. We're on Roku television, Apple television, Hulu. We have a website that gets 2.2 million views a month. And we're in negotiations right now to get our own television station, our own channel, which will have all of our product, and I'll have nighttime product to add on also. So I'll probably get 746,000 independent wrestling companies call me from Memphis area or the local surrounding areas wanting to be on television.
All right, I got to read this, man. He comes back and he says he couldn't go into the plumbing business. Could you imagine the advertising for golden showers and baths, man? Damn.
We'll make it happen.
I feel like that everything, KAW, being involved in the wrestling business, running the developmental deal down here, I feel like that all kind of is the evolution of where you're kind of at now, because once again, you're not talent no more, you're the boss again. Right. And now you have the platform to, do all kind of stuff. Like you said, y'all got all these different things you're doing. You're going to have TV time, and you're going to be able to choose what content goes on there, man. So do you feel like everything you've done leading up to here kind of led you to this place?
Man, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, and that's one of the decisions that made me do this. It was kind of like, it's kind of like going back, because when you think about the media business and stuff, it's a lot like the wrestling business was. I mean, your shows are platformed out. They got X amount of breaks. They got X amount of time. They got to go to commercial breaks, got to hit cues. The television side, that which we just kind of integrated here lately, is a lot. Like we have 3 newscasts on a day. And we hit all the news in 4 to 5 minutes in 3 different times of the day. It's almost like doing it all over without having to go out and book the towns and have to, with the talent's all there. I've got all the same prima donnas that I had back then. We've got some egos, I'll tell you that. And they're all good, but that's cool.
You got heat already, go.
I got heat, yeah. I got one guy, Chuck Walker, he's about to get smacked. But anyway.
You have to hit him with that package pile driver, man.
I can't get hit with anything anymore. But there's just a lot to it that brings back a lot of memories. It's a lot like the promotion side and talent side was fun, but I mean, I've always been more of the business side. I mean, that's just my groove. I mean, and I refuse. When this deal happened, it was there was a couple of companies trying to do this deal, and I just told, I had to sell the guys on me and the girls that would come to work. And I just told them, I won't, if you don't bet on me, you're going to lose because I'm going to win. And that's my mentality with everything. I mean, you're always in the fight unless you quit. And I refuse to quit. I refuse to fail. Like, so if I'm involved in something, we're going to win and we're going to succeed because I'm not going to stop till we are. So that's just the way I've always been wired.
I'll tell you what, man, a few weeks ago, I guess it's maybe a month ago now, when all the bad storms were coming through, we were jumping from different stations around, and we finally landed on your station. And man, and your other guys had the most accurate account of the weather down to the second of what was going on right at my house, man.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, those two guys are amazing. I'm very blessed to have them. Brian Thompson and Mike Doles. I mean, they're on point. You can't beat them. So,
is this the same Brian Thompson that was?
No.
Okay,
different.
all right.
No,
all right, I got you.
He can't do the weather.
so look, man, I see you running these little deals where you buy people's lunch. How did that turn out? I see that y'all done it once or twice now.
I think today was the fifth one.
Oh,
man, they hammered me pretty good today. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, we just started to promote, and I'm like, look, they're like, why are we doing this? And I'm like, I don't understand the concept of some people. Like, we're an advertising company, right? So we're a media company, and we want people to advertise with us. So I'm like, well, how do you ask people to spend money with you if you're not willing to prove to them that you can bring people to their business?
Right.
So I'm like, well, here's what we'll do. Let's just start showing up at random places and telling people we're going to buy their lunch. We're going to give them 10 minutes to get there. Today, I think we fed 75 people in 10 minutes.
Woo! What kind of bill was that, Golden? Go and put a dollar figure on it. I want to hear it, man.
I think it was somewhere around $1,500 for lunch.
That ain't as bad as I thought.
Not that bad.
That ain't as bad as I thought.
But I don't know of any other media company, television station, radio station, whatever, that will come do that at your business. And the place that we went today, which is a great place in Jackson, it's called Rock and Dough Pizza, they're not even advertising with us. And that's okay, because that's not part of the deal that you have to be advertising. But we want to show that if we say we can bring people to your building, we can bring them to your building. Now, it's up to you to have the product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to have a product that's viable for someone to want it. But I mean, what we do works. So,
and here's the thing.
And it's fun. It's fun. It's giving back to the community. It's just, I've always been able to come up with these, the mullets, I mean, things like that, the littles, I've always been able to come up with, creativity as being fun. And I just enjoy it. It's been fun. So it's really not like having a job. It just kind of takes me back to something I enjoy doing. I've got some other business I'm very successful in. The radio station, the media company is doing amazing also. I'm very blessed. God's been great to me. But it's okay when you go to work and it doesn't feel like work. That's when you know you're doing something right.
There you go. And here's the thing about buying the people's lunch. Not only are you getting it out there with the people who actually show up to get the meal, but you're also helping the business out too. Whether they advertise with you or not, it endears you to the community.
Yeah, correct. And we picked Wednesdays to do it because that's, Wednesday's hump day. That's when the check might be too short and the check ain't got there yet.
Right.
So I mean, that's kind of traditionally like the slower day in the restaurant business because it is the middle of the week. For those reasons, people may not go to lunch on Wednesday. So that helps a business in town Actually, we're about to go out of town, but I mean, it'll help companies. And there's 52 weeks in the year. Do the math. $1,500 a week. It's going to get stout. It's grown every week.
Right.
So I may have to do a
benefit
fundraiser.
show, a benefit show for yourself. But here's the thing. That's one thing I've always noticed about you. You understand you're willing to spend money to make money in the end.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you got to do. And it really sounds just like the wrestling business almost. You put a product out on TV or YouTube or wherever, and you hope it draws people into the house shows.
Right.
So I mean, you're kind of still promoting in a sense. You're still a promoter.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, that's all it's about. It's a media company. I'm doing the same thing now. And I'll be honest with you, you're right. I mean, from all the shows and all the bookings and all the stuff that I did in the wrestling days, I mean, it's really helped me a lot because, I mean, I've dealt with probably every freaking radio station within 100 miles and television station and everything else, and with events and whatnot. So I've booked multiple concerts for major stars after I got out of the wrestling business. So, I mean, you know, I've been able to take a lot of the different things that I've done in the last 25, 30 years and parlay them all into something that I enjoy doing at an age where I'm not able to do the other crazy stuff I did. So it brings back a lot of good memories, and, you know, it's fun. So.
Well, let's talk about Man's Record Service for a little bit, because here's the thing. My dad question: how'd you get into that? How'd you get into the record business, man? Was it just another situation where right time, right place for you, wrong time for somebody else?
Absolutely. So I was going to buy this company from someone, and we went to the bank where they had I probably shouldn't tell this story, but I'm going to tell you. So we had a big meeting at a certain big bank down in Memphis, and this guy told me that I could buy this company for X. We got to the meeting at the top floor with like 3 presidents, and the guy that I was there with just was full of, you know what, line. And I looked. So he told me I could buy it for $1 million, and the bank looked over and said, "Well, so and so, you owe $3.5 million. What are we gonna do?" I just looked at him. And I just said, "Hey guys, let me save y'all some time." I just stood up in the middle of the meeting and said, "Hey, he's telling me I could buy it for $1 million. Can I buy it or not?" And they said, "Absolutely not." I said, "Okay, well, this meeting's over. Y'all do what you need to do. When y'all foreclose, call me and I'll buy it." It was 30 days later. They called me directly. Long story short, I ended up buying the whole company for $250,000.
Wow, that's a big savings right there, Terry.
No, now it's probably, you know, quite a bit more than that. So we won't go into that. So, but it's good.
What other kind of business are you in? I know you've been in real estate. Are you still in real estate?
Somewhat. I mean, you know, in the middle of a house project now for myself that I'll probably sell the day after I get it finished. So a little bit of commercial real estate that I've got. Me and our close friend, Chris Robinson, have a business over in Union City that we've kind of partnered on, and he doesn't work very hard, but he makes a lot of money.
Damn it, Rocker. You sitting home drawing one of them Ted Turner checks, man.
Yeah, Rocker's good. No, I'm playing with you. Rocker, he's a good guy. He does great.
You know what I told you? When I seen his ass shaved his head bald, I'm telling you, he gonna assume your identity and you gonna come up missing. Hey, he gonna look like you, but just slightly different. Ain't nobody gonna really pinpoint it, man.
I figured that some of my people that I'm close around that help me take care of my business, they'll figure it out pretty quick.
So here's something I want to talk to you about before we start wrapping down.
All right.
WWE's got this new thing, this ID prospect deal, where they take independent wrestlers, give them a contract. Now it's not I don't know the exact dollar. I've heard several different figures, and honestly, I'm assuming just like in wrestling, every talent's probably got a little different of a base contract, depending on the experience and their total package. But talk to me about what's your thoughts about that, man, because here's the thing. I feel like it's really opened up the independent wrestling scene, not just around our area, because one of our boys Big Red's son, Aaron Roberts, he's actually the first ID prospect from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh,
And he's all over the place. He was just in Las Vegas during WrestleMania weekend, worked for GCW, worked for another company or two in this ID tournament to crown the first ID champion. What's your thoughts of something like that, man? Because back in the day, it was just a flat developmental deal. There wasn't no. Here's the deal. It's almost like they get this deal, and the way I understand it, WWE has first right of refusal, obviously. If AEW or someone sees Aaron and wants to offer him a deal, he can go and then take that to WWE, and they have the right to either match it and keep him or let him go. I think it's a real cool thing. What's your thoughts? What would you think if that was around back in 2000?
I think what it does more than anything, like WWE still has the developmental deal. So
right.
They still have their facility in Florida where they have their the main people on the rosters that they want there, that they really want to develop. Going back to my day with WWE, there's so many guys. This is when I think back on it, it's easy to talk and reflect on a Bryan Danielson or a K Crush or Ron Killian's, or Lance, who had a good run. It's so easy to bring those guys up. It's easy to bring up Regal being there, but most people don't realize that the best talent got overlooked.
Right.
Like there's so many guys who had what it took with the right characterization or the push or support that could have went up and done a lot of good business. Now, I'm not saying that they would be a Triple H or a Rock or whatever, but there's so many guys that got overlooked that deserved
better.
May or may not be the right word, because deserved is it's a tough one. But could
at least deserve the opportunity to prove themselves.
Well, we think. But I mean, there's only, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this. There's only so many spots. At the end of the day, there's only so many spots. There's only so much talent that can be on the main roster. There's only so many people that's going to get a break. And there's a lot of basketball players and a lot of football players and a lot of baseball players that'll never step on a major league field that could have. We'll never know them. And that's like part of the biggest heartbreak, because I know a lot of those kids that didn't get a chance. I think they should have, but that's just part of the game. So my opinion on the ID, I do this. I say that the developmental is still the developmental. I appreciate what WWE is doing for those kids, because it gives them, and it gives independent wrestling, or what do they call it now? It was called Outlaws when we were young. Is it Independence now?
Yeah, it's Indies now.
It gives them respect, and it gives it character, and it gives them hope. It gives them legitimacy. So like that young man that you're talking about can be on X, Y, and Z show, and they can promote that. And it helps the independent wrestling scene to have legitimate talent, would be my input on it. And I think it can, whether any of them ever get a job or not is irrelevant. It gives them some form of credibility to say that, hey, the same thing I wanted to do for you guys.
Right.
But this deal, like, hey, let's honor these guys. My only contingency on the whole Hall of Fame thing was, and not that I had a right to have any contingency, because I don't think that I did, but I asked for the right. That the only thing I asked, I would do anything for the show and help in any way. I just wanted my guys recognized. And that meant they got to walk out on that stage, they got to be recognized, and their families got to see them, that they mattered, and that what they contributed mattered to something. And that's what I think that'll do.
Right.
I think, yeah, there'll be some people who get a break. There'll be some people get a chance, and they'll deserve it, but they're going to have to work their ass off to get it because it's not easy. I mean, getting that is, time will tell, is that a blessing or a curse? So
Right.
we don't know yet.
Here's my take on it. I think there's an underlying agenda with the ID deal. You got AEW out here. Obviously, WWE and TNA now are working together. I honestly, in my opinion, I feel like WWE just bought AAA in Mexico. I feel like they're working their way to buying TNA. But I also feel like this. I feel like they're found a way to monopolize the talent and keep a lot of that indie talent away from AEW, maybe other companies, because I mean they are going around and picking the best independent wrestlers from around the country and giving them ID deals. I don't know how many they've done. I don't know how many in the first batch that they actually ID'd. But what's your thoughts about that? Do you think that could be an underlying agenda to box AEW kind of in where they can't get talent?
I mean, no.
Okay.
No, I don't see that at all. And I'll tell you why. I watched a little bit of WrestleMania this year, and I didn't know 70% of the talent, but as I watched some of it, all of them came from, like, all these guys came from their developmental, from NXT. Right. You got to think about it. At the Performance Center, they've got 75 5-star athletes, or however many the number is, but they're all legit. They're legit talents that could be legit superstars, that could be legit. I mean, you can already see the progression from the center to NXT to the main roster. I mean, how much talent is on the main roster right now that was in NXT 2 years ago? Think about it. Who's running NXT? Shawn, Regal.
And here's the thing, honestly, probably, I mean, Seth, Roman.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I mean, you can keep naming guys that are at the top of their business right now that all started with the developmental deal, that all started in developmental and worked their way to the top. There are a few that, Randy Orton, Miz, these are guys who have kind of came before that.
If you think about that, those guys came from our developmental deal, which was just the pre-version of what they do now. So it's the same path, but I mean, I don't, and this just is probably just another level to it, because there's nothing wrong with going out across the country and finding 100 guys, 50 guys, whatever the case may be, guys and girls, whatever they are, and giving them that tag with a little bit of incentive, and it helps more independent shows. I appreciate it because it's going to help keep the independent product alive, which for some guys that will be all it is. And there'll be some diamonds in there. I'm sure there will be, and hopefully he's one of them. But I mean, I don't think it's going to change the game of how they're doing things, because if you're somebody that they know is going to be have an opportunity to be on the roster, you're going to go straight to Florida and you're going to be there, and they're going to get you ready for NXT, and you're going to go straight up the ladder. So, but I mean, there's still, at least you have the opportunity. A lot of guys don't have the opportunity. But again, it still goes back to what I said earlier. There's so many guys that get deals that never get anything. I mean, and when you think about it, it's vicious, man, because the wrestling business can do a number on you mentally.
Right.
Mentally, it can. I mean, it can do a number on you, where if you're not strong-willed and strong-minded, the wrestling business has ruined more people's lives than it's helped.
Right.
So, and I don't mean that ugly. I mean,
that's just the nature of the business. It's just the nature of the business. That's just the business itself in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a drug. I mean, you're chasing that high, and it's just, it's cool. I mean, it's great, and all the other things that's wonderful about it. But when you have to walk away, or you choose to walk away, I'll say this: it's affected me in every aspect of my life in a negative way. So it's made me it's cost me more than it's given me.
Right. I think most of us. I mean, honestly, it looks like there's a bunch of guys out there making millions, and there are, but there's millions that did not make it. There's thousands that really. There's thousands out there probably that are just as good as a lot of the people who made it. They just didn't. The cards didn't play out that way. I guess that's just life in general, though.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
So let me ask you this, Terry. You made it through that first night to remember and stuff. How hectic was it for you that week? Because, I mean, you're always dealing with businesses and stuff, but that was the first time you dealt with wrestlers in what, 25 years?
Yeah, and I had Jamie there.
Hey, Jamie was on pretty good behavior, though, man.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I had so many people say, "Man, is Jamie gonna show up? Is Jamie gonna show up?" And then it was Whoopi. Is Whoopi gonna show up? Is Whoopi gonna show up? And I'm like, I don't get it. I said, like, Jamie's gonna be here and he's gonna be on his absolute best behavior. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Me and Jamie had some severe conversations. and Jamie knows I love Jamie. But if he would have screwed up that weekend, not because of me, because of him, because I just want to say on the record, it was an absolute honor to be involved on any level for me. But
right, I'm the same way, dude.
Being able to be inducted in the Hall of Fame is a lifetime, a dream that I never thought would happen to me. But to be on top of that, to go in that night with the group of guys that went in and with the ceremony for Bill and Jerry, I mean, it was touching. It was I'm very humbled by it. I still to this day don't think I deserved it. But I mean, it is what it is, and I'm very grateful for Randy allowing me to be a part of that.
Man, you definitely deserved it. There's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame that didn't do as much for the business. They might have been a bigger name talent than Terry Golden, but that don't mean they done as much for the business, especially around our area as you do. I feel like you well deserved to go in, and I'll be honest with you, man, when you were giving your speech and you looked over, you said, Hellraiser? Oh, hell yeah. I made it into a Hall of Fame speech, man. Hell yeah.
There's so many. I mean, you're right. When I went blank, to be honest with you, especially, because I knew that Regal and Ron had sent in a video, but I didn't see them until then. So, I mean, they got me. And then you guys being there, but then my kids, I looked over. If I hadn't looked at my kids in the beginning, I'd have been okay. But when my sons were there, it just it was tough. So, there's so many people that I didn't thank, like Mike Pruitt and my buddy Darren
right.
from Memphis, man. I got lost. I apologize for everybody that I didn't thank. There's so many people. I could sit up for 3 hours and name people that I owe to, but they all know that I love them. And, I'm very honored, very blessed to even be a part of representing what we all as a group did. So
I don't know.
Look at it.
I don't know if you've seen the Hall of Fame for the WWE, but talking about being there 3 hours, I'm pretty sure Triple H gave a 90-minute acceptance speech, man.
I didn't watch that.
he thanked everybody, I think, but The Rock, man, for some reason, man. I don't know. So I'm going to ask you this question, and we're going to get out of here, Terry.
Right.
Have you and Randy been in any contact, and is there any talks of maybe another Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame night to remember?
We've talked once or twice, not about that, but I'll go ahead and go out on the limb. If they decide to do one, I'd be glad to be involved and help in any way I could. And in saying that, I would also put out there that if there's any local-ish shows that could use anything from me, reach out. I'll be glad to come to your show or help at any aspect. I don't need money. Maybe me and you can get together and go. I know you like to drink beer. I'll drive.
You like to get me drunk. What are you talking about, man? What's the deal on that?
But, I haven't been to many shows. I've been to I think I may have been to 2 shows in 20 years. So it might be fun to get back out on the road and go to a couple shows here and there and just kind of see what's going on. Because I really don't know any of the young guys or know any of the flavors. So I'll put that out there. I mean, hey, look, I want all of them to succeed. At the end of the day, I mean, I'm going to mention this guy by name. The young man from Memphis, Dustin Starr, catches a lot of heat. And I mentioned him. And Johnny Dotson catches a lot of heat. There's a lot of hate. But, I mean, those guys, including the young man from 901, they're as passionate about what they're doing as we were what we were doing.
Right.
What they're doing means as much to them as what we were doing mean to us. And in 10 years, 15 years, there's going to have to be another one of them. What I do know about Dustin is when he started his show, he fought against Lawler and he fought against Bill. And I can relate to that.
Right.
Because it's the same thing I did. It's the same. So I got respect for that. I wish anybody and everybody the best of luck. If I could do anything to help any of them, I'd be glad to do anything I could. But, at some point, those guys got to be looked at and say, hey, you kept it alive now. I mean, they've been going for quite a while. So, I mean, they have to have some form of respect. Everybody wants to hate on you and Monday morning quarterback and pick you apart and all that stuff, and usually that's the boys. So when the boys are hating on the product, it's better just to stay in your own lane, do your own thing, work on your own product. And if you don't like something, don't say anything. We never really went out. We would talk smack and we would poke fun and we do things that was entertaining on the show. But I mean, the show's the show. But when you walk out of the show, if you don't have the guts to go live and do it, don't do it behind your keyboard.
Right.
So, I wish all those guys the best in the world. I hope they all are overwhelmingly successful. I hope they stay passionate about what they're doing and keep it alive. Because if they don't, what happens next? It just goes away. So there's kids out there now that want to do the same thing. Somebody's got to keep it alive for them, and I wish them the best.
Man, talking about keeping it alive, I ask you this question every time I have you on. But now we have radio stations. We have all this outlets for media. Got a TV thing coming up. Are we going to see you start a wrestling company ever, man?
You're out of time.
Come on, you know you want to. You're already wanting to go to shows. You got to.
I didn't say that. I said I would go. I mean, I mean, you know what? I'd like to see. I haven't seen enough local product to really know what the feel is. So yeah, I mean, I would probably enjoy going to a show here and there and just kind of checking it out, whatever. So if you want to do one, we'll take some cue cards. We'll hold up, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Right. Look,
bring out the midget.
Hey, they actually just did I want to say it was the TriStar Wrestling, either Alliance. I think TriStar Wrestling Alliance in Memphis this past Saturday did a local Hall of Fame ceremony for wrestlers from Memphis, not Memphis Wrestling, but wrestlers from Memphis. And one of the guys who not only got a Hall of Fame plaque and was inducted, but he also got a Lifetime Achievement Award was Motley. And guess who inducted him? Hollywood.
Awesome. Man,
and Rod, let me give a shout out to Roger Savage, because he started talking about this thing a year ago, maybe a little longer than that. And as well as anybody else, there was apparently a lot of roadblocks along the way to make it come to fruition. Danny B was there. He was inducted into it. And I want to give a shout out to Roger for that. He was actually at the Hall of Fame ceremony in Jackson. He sat next to me and Motley at the other table. And it really, look, I was worried that he wouldn't be able to pull it off, but at the end of the day, he pulled it off. Bill Dundee was there. He got a Hall of Fame pack. And
I actually reached out to him, to Raj, and told him that I was going to try to come down to that. And then something came up Saturday. I was going to try to be at that because Bill was going to be there, and I wanted to see Motley, but I didn't get to make it into town. So, but Bill's Rex was in town. Rex Luthor was in town. I saw him. He was taking Bill, so I was just going to make sure that Bill got to the show for him. But I didn't get to go. But what do you say about Motley? He's just, man, just.
I mean, I don't know what you.
He's the total package. He's the epitome of.
I think he's probably helped more guys around our area over the past 30 years than probably anybody else.
Yeah, and as I said, one of the guys that gets very little respect.
Right.
Or not necessarily respect, probably not the right word. Doesn't get any credit for what he's done. So
any acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, he deserves it. And I tell you what, Bill looked good. I wasn't there, but man, I seen pictures and a little bit of footage of Bill. Bill actually looked good.
Oh,
I didn't expect.
I can still take Bill.
You think you can take Bill, man?
Oh, yeah.
We'll hit that only God knows why video, man. There you go.
He's the reason I had to get my teeth fixed because he broke my damn tooth off.
Man, I know you ain't talking. I still got a scar in my head where were we at? Crockett Mills, Mississippi, or someplace like that we used to go to, and you hit me with that damn title belt, but you hit me sideways. Man, I told it that scar, it was prominent. The hair didn't even grow into it for about 10 years, Golden.
Hey, man, if you're going to do it right.
There you go, man.
I mean,
hey, you remember me being over top of you and you were in the middle of the ring and blood is just pouring out of my mask? I didn't feel like it was that bad, but blood's just dripping on your head, all in your hair, and then I go to touching my mask and it's just covered in blood. I'm like, shit. Get to the back, and here comes Tasha. Tasha, pull that mask off, pour alcohol in it, and then glue it together.
Glue it, baby. Let's go.
Terry, dude, man, I appreciate you so much. It's been a blast. Always a blast when we get together, man, and get to bullshit and talk. If next time I see a show, a good big show come across around here, I'll holler at you. And if you ain't doing that, I'll go, man.
Yeah, let me know. Thank you very much, my friend. I love you. To all the guys that we've been on the road with, God bless you. And good luck. And good luck to all the young kids that are trying to do their dream. That's all you can do. Just keep working.
Terry, you take it easy, man, and I love you, brother.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, you seen it right there. Terry Golden, like I said, KAW, MCW, changed the wrestling around this area in 1998. Done a lot for the business, done a lot for the talent. Like I said, hired me and fired me all at the same time. Cool-ass dude. Now, Golden Media is a thing. He said it. Any of you wrestling companies out there, man, you never know. TV's coming. If you're looking for a TV spot, man, maybe you can get with Golden and work it out. Look, guys, I want to thank everybody who tuned in, everybody who interacted. I'm back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with MJ Davis. He's the guy who brings all the smoke. He's the current Bluff City heavyweight champion. Like this video, guys. Share this video. Go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Before I let you guys out of here, you know what I got to do. I got to promote these upcoming podcasts, and then we'll let y'all go.
Get a little bit of trouble, K-N-I-F-E, right.
so clear. I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The sound of deafening fear.
You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me coming. You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me
My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he stabs me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel, I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks, I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere or any place.
gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me coming.
All right, y'all, be sure to check out those podcasts. Once again, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank Terry Golden for coming on. I want to thank each and every one of you guys and girls again for tuning in and supporting Buster H.R. Johnson and Buster Unmasked. I'm back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. with MJ Davis. Until then, y'all take it easy.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.